Is cancel culture the death of stand-up comedians? It's been crazy what's been going on because they're like the last stretch of truth speakers, because that's exactly what they do. They tell the truth with humor. They make us laugh at the truth. They give us the truth with strawberries, essentially. And some of my favorite comedians would be Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and many others, but those would be my top two. And yeah, man, I don't know. We saw what happened with Dave Chappelle and the whole situation with Netflix. This whole cancel culture thing is pretty monotonous. And then, of course, he gets attacked on stage. I'm pretty sure you've seen reports on that, and that was months ago. I think that was like maybe 3 or 4 months ago now. But it is absolutely bananas what has gone on. But I gave it a try. I gave it a shot. Believe it or not, yes, I actually did perform some stand-up at the world famous Comedy Store on Sunset in Hollywood. And that club has been around a long time. It became a comedy club in the 1970s. Before that, it was a regular nightclub called Ciro's. And then it was converted into a comedy club in the 70s. A lot of greats have performed there, from a Jay Leno to a Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison, Joe Rogan, who's had an illustrious career. And just a lot of greats have come in and out of there, from the Wayans brothers, and just a lot of greats. And so the reason why I tried to do it is because I hadn't performed on stage before that for a long time. I think because I don't really count the Power 106 days, because giving out CDs and T-shirts is nothing compared to developing an actual performance routine. Okay, it's two totally different things. Power 106, giving out shirts and prizes, nah, that's nothing compared to making people laugh. I mean, it's sort of similar, but not. And so I had just, 2008. So I was 1 year removed from Power 106. So this would be the post 106 days. I was 32 years old. I have the footage I'm going to show you in a moment. Thank you. Shout out to Mike Woodley and Iman, who got this footage using one of those old school cell phones where the quality is not all that great. Okay, so I'm just giving you a preamble. And so, yeah, I wanted to do this to sort of work on those chops. You know what I mean? Give it a shot. Never done it. First time. And this was sort of an amateur night hosted by a guy named Noel. I can't pronounce his last name. I think it's El Grobly. I apologize. Shout out to you for the opportunity, because I saw the notice in Craigslist. All right. There was a posting in Craigslist, and I answered the post, sort of a casting notice, I guess, for an amateur night. And I went on ahead and gave it a shot. And this took place in the belly room at the Comedy Store on Sunset. So, yeah, I'm going to show you that clip. And keep in mind, it's the year 2008, okay? And this is a 32-year-old me, all right? You ready for this? Here we go.
Deal with these fucked up orders. Like, some people are real nice about it. Like, this one girl walked in, she's like, excuse me, I ordered the 10-piece McNugget. Yeah, the 10-piece right there. As if they don't know what the fuck's on the menu. Yeah, the 10-piece. Do you mind changing it? Is that okay? I'm sorry. Thank you. Why you gotta apologize for them fucking your shit up? You know what I mean? And then you have it. For me, it's like anger management. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to spit at my shit, so I gotta control myself. I walk in there, I'll be like, okay, first of all, you gotta be barbecue sauce, not Cool Ranch. I didn't ask for cheese on my sandwich, and you didn't give me my drink. Thank you. Ah! How do you? Well, it's kind of crazy, and it's funny because black people don't work at Mickey D's no more, and this may be the case. You know what I mean? Because we can't deal with that nitpicky shit. You know what I mean? Because some people walk up in there, and it's already bad enough that they fucking up your order. Why you got to give people more shit to do? All right, I'll tell you what, I want about 5 Big Macs, okay? And on the first one, you're going to take all that sauce on it, because I don't want that, okay? And the second one, you're going to remove the bun in the middle of the Big Mac, so I have 2 meat patties and 2 buns. And then on the third one, you're going to take off 1 meat patty, so it's 1 meat patty and 3 buns. And on the other one, I'm going to have 2 meat patties with nothing else. And the last order, give me the meat wrapper, just the wrapper by itself, thanks. See, black people don't work there no more because they can't deal with this nitpicky shit, okay? So they'll be like, okay, hold on. You want to do it? Wait, hold on, partner. No, Latisha. Hey, fix this Big Mac the way they're supposed to be. You gonna take this sandwich the way it looks on the picture. I ain't got time for this bullshit. You think you running it, don't you? This motherfucker want us to remove the apple from the apple pie because he don't want to eat the crust. Fuck you. You want to call my what? Fuck that. I'm the manager, the supervisor, and employee of the month. Now, fuck me. Walk your ass on out. That's right. Cheesecake Factory's right down the street. Dumb shit. People's crazy, man. They're crazy.
Yeah, so that was October of 2008. And then I did it again in December of that same year. So my two successful appearances doing stand-up were in 2008. And then I gave it a shot in 2009. That wasn't too successful. I bombed completely. And most comedians know exactly what that feels like, where no one laughs at your jokes. But yeah, that one right there that you saw, that was my first time on stage. I know the quality wasn't really all that great. Oh, man, what a memory, man, because the guy who was hosting it, because I don't think it was Noel, it was some other guy. It was Noel and somebody else, but he had got up in front of the audience and said, yeah, and that was his first time doing stand-up, guys. And I remember my grandmother got up and said, yeah, that's my grandson. And everybody was kind of shocked, and that was kind of cool. And actually, because I know what her laugh sounds like, because she had a really loud laugh. And because I know what it sounds like, whenever I listen to the recording, I can hear her laughing in the background because her and my aunt sat in the back. Actually, you can hear my aunt too. Both of them have a very unique laugh. And so that was the highlight of that routine in 2008. And that was the routine that led to a poem called Homeless Intellectuals that I would later develop and perform for the first time at the Poetry Lounge on Fairfax Avenue here in Los Angeles in 2011. Okay, so I took a portion of that stand-up and I put a poem into it. And that's how the Homeless Intellectuals poem was created. People who have seen me perform poetry in Los Angeles know what I'm talking about, because it's one of the most requested poems by people who have seen me perform on stage out here. And I don't know, should I show a clip of that? Here's a clip of that.
A Worcestershire bread! A Worcestershire bread! A Worcestershire bread with jalapenos and chili cheese is the best.
Translation, just eat what you like. Just eat what you like. Next message.
I got bugs on my balls, but I guess what goes up the ass must come out of it.
So yeah, that's just a little snip. You can probably find it here. Maybe I'll put some links to where you can see the entire thing. But yeah, the stand-up routine birthed that poem, Homeless Intellectuals. That is really something. And there was none of that is written down. None of that is written down. When I was doing my stand-up, it was all from memory. I would rehearse over and over and over and over and over and over again. I remember going through those rehearsals before the stand-up, and I remember being in the green room and I was rehearsing it over and over. None of it was written down. Trust me, it was all here. And, I was not new to the stage. I had been performing on stage before, because my roots come from the world of thespians, being an actor on stage, did some Shakespeare when I was 11 years old, did talent shows and those sort of things. So that's where my roots come from. So, of course, that muscle was being worked out. And it's kind of crazy that I threw myself into the fire with the stand-up because, man, like I said, it's a tough gig. You know what I mean? So, man, but that was a highlight right there. It's good to kind of reflect on those good things. There's a lot of bullshit going on these days. And, you're not supposed to live in the past with your mistakes and the bad stuff. But if you want to take a moment to reflect on those good memories, you got to do it sometimes. So you know what? Do that. If there's a highlight in your life, any kind of highlight, whether big or small, take a moment to take that pause and say, man, that was good stuff. Reflect on it and then keep it pushing. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to share that with you. Like I said, shout out to Mike and Iman who recorded that. And there is the other one that's available. And I'll put the link to that in the description box. But I don't know. What do you think? Is stand-up going to completely die out with everything that has been going on lately? With cancel culture and people having the balls to attack people on stage. It's pretty crazy. Do you think stand-up is done?